After the loss of their oldest son, the Sully family faces a new wave of conflicts with their children. These conflicts only get more complicated when the Ash people, a Na'vi tribe that utilizes fire in dangerous ways, attacks. This won't stop Jake Sully from doing what he has to do to protect his family, even if that means sacrificing everything he now knows and loves. This is Avatar: Fire and Ash. Avatar: Fire and Ash is the third film in the Avatar franchise. It only took them 3 years to make this movie. They're finally getting their shit together. Yes, I know it was probably more than 3 years, but it was a joke. Just roll with me. But as we got closer to this film's release, I was getting a little bit more and more excited. And let me tell you, I needed that. Hearing that theme again just got me so emotional. You wouldn't want to have seen me in the theater. And seeing this specific character again, after this awful year we've had, gave me a good sense of hope. I am just so excited for Avengers Doomsday. I really am. Avatar: Fire and Ash was good though. Jokes aside, I definitely enjoyed this a lot more than I anticipated. Obviously, this is a visual feast, and the action set pieces are pretty damn amazing. But I kinda think some of the characters, certain ones at least, are kind of making a mark for themselves. There are still plenty of aspects I could not give less of a shit about, but overall a pretty good film. Now, I have begun to come around on the main trio of the Avatar franchise. Those being Jake Sully, Neytiri, and Miles Quaritch. Jake and Neytiri have a pretty strong relationship. This is especially apparent in a great action set piece in the middle of the film. Not to mention Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana deliver some great performance with the motion capture suits. However, my favorite character might just have to be the film's villain, once again played by Stephen Lang. The storyline he has in this film is equal parts interesting and also kind of hilarious. He is the racist type that would fold for the Latina baddie. Him and Sean Penn from One Battle After Another would get along quite well. Now, as much as it surprised me to actually begin coming around to Jake Sully as a character, there are still plenty of aspects of the film I wasn't a fan of. Really, it's mainly the whales. I don't know why I thought we were done with the whales, but man, do I not care whenever they're talking to the whales. I cannot get myself to care about these damn whales. They try so hard to get you to care about these damn things, and it just doesn't work for me. Which is weird because I kind of like the dragon things they fly. Those are cool. They are pretty cool in the action sequences though, so I'll give them that. Jake Sully also has way too many freaking kids. I was ecstatic when one of them died in the last movie, just because that meant fewer kids to have to follow in the sequel. I was hoping that would have been a trend, but and it's not even that his kids are bad characters, I just would have rather have seen them pick a prominent storyline. Kid 1, Jake's now oldest son, has a pretty interesting story about his grief and how he believes he killed his brother. Sure, the whales are smack dab in the middle of this storyline, but maybe if we explored it a little more than the film does, I'd give a shit about the whales. I'm hung up about this, I'm sorry. Kid 2 is the one played by Sigourney Weaver, and again, this one would have been so much more interesting if the buildup was there, and it didn't just kinda happen. It doesn't feel like enough actually happens to this character to warrant the big ending. Kid 3 is there. She's just there. Kid 4, though, you can call me J. Jonah Jameson because I hate Spider-Man. There's a comma there. That's the joke. That's comedy. I hate this damn kid. He's a Tarzan-like character, a white kid running around in dreadlocks. It looks so fake. Everything about this movie is beautiful. The cinematography, the effects, the motion capture, everything's beautiful. But whenever Spider is on screen, it takes me out of the movie. Like, this looks so fake. And he's the only human that I feel that way about. There are other humans in the film, but nowhere near as prominent as this little shit. And I think the worst part is that this kid has the most prominent storyline between all of Jake Sully's kids. As if he's the one we're supposed to follow and care about. He's not even a Na'vi. He's not even an Avatar. Like, come on. At least give me a Na'vi to follow. Do Little Mermaid 2 and have a Na'vi want to integrate with human society. So the Little Mermaid. And if you haven't figured it out yet, this kid isn't Jake Sully's. He's Stephen Lang's character's kid, which I do think adds to Miles's character, but not so much Spider. I just really hated this character, and I really could have gone without ever seeing him again. That's all I'll say. But if there is one thing the Avatar franchise knows, it's amazing visual effects. These are beautiful films. The planet of Pandora is mesmerizing, and the Na'vi are all wonderfully created with motion capture. However, this film had me appreciating the action sequences a whole lot more, especially with the introduction of the Ash People, or the Fire Nation. They are nuts and give Mad Max Wastelanders a run for their money. It was really cool to find out that the Fire Nation's leader was played by Una Chaplin, Charlie Chaplin's granddaughter. That's awesome, and she was great in the film. But here's the thing. Now, something I really hated about Avatar: Way of the Water was the jump in frame rate. It made me want to vomit on multiple occasions. It truly threw me off, and I wasn't a fan of that. However, I think this film works with it a little better. I didn't notice it as jarringly, but I'm gonna assume it was still there. Either my eyes have just adjusted to that frame rate a little bit better, or it just seamlessly was in the movie. It's James Cameron, so I'll at least assume the latter. But aside from my gripes about literal children, I still enjoyed this film. It's still about 50-50 on what I like and what I don't like, but overall, I liked what I liked a whole lot. The action scenes are really what carried the movie for me, because they're all pretty good. If they're going to continue down the element road, because apparently all franchises titled Avatar have to be about the elements, I would love to see them do a Journey to the Center of Pandora movie, where we meet a tribe of Na'vi who are short but have giant fists for breaking up boulders. Think Danny DeVito with Wreck-It Ralph arms. Something like that. I can't speak for how well I'll remember this film in the coming months, but I enjoyed it when I was watching, so that's a win for me. I hope you all enjoyed this review, and if you did, please consider hitting that like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified when my next review drops. Until next time, I'm Quentin Dunaway, hoping you will keep it cinematic.